Howdy folks, welcome back to Out of War, and we're watching paint dry today. Otherwise known as bagger or bucket wheel excavator operations. It's not very exciting, but you can move a lot of material. And we did a lot of this on season 6 with the great big baggers. We were biting off a little more than we can chew, I think, here. This is the, let me get back out here to free driver cam. This is the 681 we set up here at the last, in the last video. This is the smallest of the bucket wheel excavators. And I think she's struggling a little bit with that. Now I think we got it. So I've been carving some stuff off the wall here. Back to focused follow cam, there we go. And we can kind of zoom in on the wheel and see what it's doing. A little bit of a deep cut here. So I've been cutting on here for a bit. I probably should hop out and see what kind of damage I'm doing to my hoppers. So I've just been kind of taking successive bites. Let's go ahead and turn that off. Let's hop out of here. Sometimes when you hop out, you end up on the arm. So I've been taking passes up through here, just trying to get started on a bite into this cliff. It's going to be a little bit. But you can see I've got some concrete pads down. That gives me a nice stable foundation to drive on. I think I saw some other stuff sticking through. Maybe that was the only spot. That was coal. We've already got coal on us, so we'll just let that be. So from the last video, I did get rid of the chute. It was just too much power. We were going to run out of power. So I went with a 500 watt, or 500 kilowatt solar panel. We're using 367 of it. So we were using more than the other panel would provide. Also got rid of the, I already said, I got rid of the elevator, and we're just dumping into the hopper. I removed one of the deck panels and it just goes right into here. We're all caught up. Nice. I wasn't sure how far behind I was, because I did have that turned off for a while I was getting the bagger set up. But we just let it eat, and it ate. So we're going to go back across here and get some of this coal. So let me turn the lights on. That'll help a little bit. Don't necessarily need that dirt, but let's dig in and get some more of this coal here. Kind of dig a little bit of a pocket there for the side to go in, so I can get down a little deeper. Just want to grab all that coal I can. Should be able to dig about that deep, but I might have to take it a little slow. So yeah, this is it. This is the video. We're bagging. We're bagging groceries. Oh, that's mostly surface coal. That's good to know. I thought that was the whole deep seam there. So we're probably selling a whole bunch of dirt. But that's okay. Dirt will sell too. Also, being on I've got a grid located concrete base there that just helps with the spacing of all your digging when you're dealing with the bagger. I have to change my elevation here. As we bite into some of this pile, this is going to be mostly pay dirt, I think. Though we did get back into some coal over there. So there'll be quite a bit of back and forth and adjustment, you know, until I get in a position where I'm evenly cutting into the cliff face. We are going to have to stop here because I'm going to be eventually running into my setup. Let's go down a bit and then back across. have to get a fuel truck here eventually. Or move the fuel tank. I think the fuel truck's kind of expensive. I should check at the Iron Johnson dealership. I think that's about where I was, so we'll cut across at this depth. Yeah, that looks about right. It's the rest of the trench. Am I hitting the concrete? No, I'm not hitting the concrete. I think I might have been hitting some dirt, though. Whoa, easy camera. Come here, camera. And that's about all she wrote right there. Pre-follow cam, nope. Driver cam, there we go. That's the big overview. So this is the same level I had. You can see it's still digging a little bit of material. The one problem with this bagger, or actually all baggers, is they only raise so far. They don't really raise as far as you would think. So we're still going to be undercutting the cliff face, but it's going to be significantly less. So now I have to come all the way back across here, and then we're going to move forward a bit. I'm going to say a bit. It is going to be just a little bit. And this is as fast as it turns. As far as I know, if you turn the wheel off, it doesn't turn any faster if you turn the wheel off. It just kind of is what it is. You do have to turn the wheel off, though, in order to actually move. All right, I am in low. That's where I want to be. And then I want to turn just a touch because I kind of moved a little bit. And I want to ease forward about, I think about that far. It's not much. We're going to go back to focus follow. This is pretty much dirt here. Okay, that is all the way down. Got it. We're just going to sweep across. And of course, as we get over here, it's going to be biting in a lot more. So we'll see if I move forward too far. Ooh, it's a little tight. I'm going to go knock that ridge off that we made. Yeah, sometimes it puts you out on the boom when you hop out. It's actually right where I wanted to be, so that's fine. It's a little weird. Got knocked down. Something like that, and then we can just drop that pay dirt right in there. Beautiful. Now we can sweep across. What I should have done was set up the drone. I didn't even think about that. Maybe we'll do that. We can get a nice time lapse out of this. Yeah, let's do that. Let's see, with that stacked. Go hop in the drone. Can I move without starting the engine? I forget how that works. Yeah, I think the engine is kind of just doesn't mean much on the drone. In cab cam, that's kind of what I want. We'll see what I'm looking at. And was it C to go down? No, that's C for the driver dummy. W and S go up and down. Oh, right, shift to W and S. Got it. Drop down a bit. Maybe come over to this cliff face. Maybe like that. And then when you're in the drone, if you hit I, you can set up your recording. So between frames, sure, we'll do 1080p is fine. We can go to, yeah, I think every 5 seconds is fine. I don't know how many frames we're gonna need. We'll set that to 4,000. I know 1,000 is the max. Never mind. I'm gonna leave that at 1,000. And I'm gonna say clear the, oh, that's just the cache. Okay. What if I hit 1,000? I'm not sure what happens then. Does it just automatically export? That's probably what that does. Remote trigger. Does that mean I can trigger it when I'm not in the drone? Let's try that with remote trigger on. All right, and then we do, oh, you can do portrait mode. Interesting. Then it's already kind of in the format for a short. Huh. Fun. Well, I think for this one, though, I'm going to keep it full, and then I can always, you know, edit it, crop it if I want to, but we'll keep it in normal mode for now. All right, and I think that's good, so we'll get back out of there, and then if I hop over here, if I'm back over in the bagger, hit R. Nice. Okay, that's how that works. So with the remote trigger on, you can trigger it when you're not in it. Got it. Most excellent. And I'm pretty sure it doesn't record the UI. I don't think you have to turn the UI off in the drone. Then we're just sweeping back and forth, bringing in tons of material. That's not what I wanted to do. Cool. We're getting money for our dirt. I see lots of smokestacks putting out smoke. Perfect. Okay, that's down, so we're going to turn that off. Go back to driver cam. I want to ease on forward again. So parking brake off. Turned a little bit forward about that far, I think. There's no real way to measure, I just kind of eyeballing it. We want focused follow cam and kick this guy back on. Move a little bit so it realizes it's in the voxels. And then we're back to sweeping again. And then eventually we'll get to where we'll have, you know, a whole arc that we're sweeping and we're always digging. Yeah, I could have went a little further forward. In fact, let's do that since we just started cutting. Well, it's where am I? Yeah, I'm kind of in relation to the... So I think I can get away with going forward a little more. Let's get over to about here. We have to turn that off so it can move. Yeah, let's try that. I just don't want to smack the side When you come in this direction, you don't have as much leeway because you got the hopper thing on the side there. Ooh, might be a little close. We'll see how it behaves. Kind of seems like it's behaving itself. Also, what I could do, I need to buy some more explosives, but what I could do is blast more of this cliff down. Then I have to back up and start digging again, but we'll see how it goes, just going back and forth like this. But that's another possibility for sure. Yep, that worked out about right for coming forward that amount. Forgot to look where we started. I was curious how much I would sell just from dirt. You'll be able to tell because you can just rewind the video. I won't be able to tell until I'm editing this. Alright, so I'm going to come up to about, say, there. Start panning across. We have a long pan here where we're not doing anything. It will still cut midair. I'm not sure. It must be like a proximity to the voxels type thing. So we're clearly not next to any voxels, but it still thinks we are occasionally. Once I get swept across here, I want to raise all the way, and we'll see where we're at with it in relation to the upper part. Some good looking banged up metal there on the truss structure of this. Alright, upsy daisy. Starts cutting some of this off. This is mostly dirt, I think, though there's some pay dirt back in there. Let's just see where we end up when we get over to here. I don't think there's much over on the left side. Mostly just need to get this area here cleaned off so we can keep moving forward. Alright, we're going back up. Close is that to full up? It's still pretty far. So that's full up right there. That's as high as we can go. So since this direction we can cut more, I'm going to see if I can take a pass just like this. Get cut all the way across. Yeah, that's working out pretty good. Sorry, pretty well. Married to an English major. Should correct myself. Alright, then we'll come over and we'll put the kind of center axis of this wheel right on that point. We'll just come across and smooth. Quite a sticky out piece there on that coal. Fun. Kind of curious to go check what the plants has produced so far. There you go. Got that little piece. Alright, so that's as high as we can go again. See what we get when we traverse to the left. Mostly cutting air. I think we'll get a little bit over here. Wonder if I made like an hour-long backer video, if anybody would watch it. Just throw ASMR in the title. Digging the dirt. Slowly dig away. My voice is a little rough today. I can't quite do the smooth tones. All right, we're fully raised and we're coming across. I like it. We got a little bit of pay dirt up in here, so we keep going. What's weird is you have all this material falling, but it doesn't actually build up, as far as I can tell. It's just cosmetic. There we go. We're actually pretty much at center. So when I move forward, it's not going to really matter at all for side to side. It will matter for the front to back. So let's go ahead and move forward. About that far. There's a little void back in there. What if the baggers, do they still like randomly carve out parts of the map when you load in? I didn't think to check that. That was the thing back in Season 6. Every time I'd load in, it would carve out a chunk of the map somewhere. Alright, we're going to hit too... I don't think we're going to be too strong here. We're going to be just right. I don't have any kind of indicator in here about alignment, but I can kind of see where I'm at with the tracks. So right now we're basically straight ahead. I think we're still good. Like, why can't this go up more? I mean, you could move the masts a little closer together, right? Oh, terraforming locked. I just realized it was beeping at me. Alright, well, this is a good opportunity. We can go check the land over here. All that gold. Still coming through. Nice. I see little boxes back there in the corner, so we're doing all right. A bunch more diamond and ruby ore. You're done with your silicon. Or sorry, with your rubber. I'll get you processing again. And we can sell the gold. Diamond and ruby ore processing. 55 grand, 35 grand. Excellent. You guys are still working away on those. So let's do this. We'll just start over. Alright, my math was really bad last time. So 373. So it would be 187? We'll call it 186. Oh yeah, look at that. And then for the ruby ore, we got, what was that going to be, 427? Something like that? No, 450 derp. Be 450 plus 27. There we go. Get your math right. And upset all the math nerds. Okay, we got that in there. We'll keep the coal on us. Another 14 grand, another 20 grand. Nice. All right, back to making the material flow. And we're still pretty good on the alignment, but we'll go ahead and move this over to the middle of the hopper-ish. Yeah, we shouldn't be going backwards, so we'll just line it up about there. Focused follow. We'll just keep plowing through the pay dirt. I'll see how long the time lapse ends up being. I might make that into a short and then linked here to the full video. See how long it ends up being. I don't do too many shorts, but sometimes they're fun. They can bring in new people. Alright, we'll bring this on down. We'll put the center of the wheel about where that point is. And we just go back and forth. That's the name of the game. Something like that would be lower. Something like that. Still got, oops, trying to see back over there, but that didn't work out. I can see the money rolling in, so I know we're selling dirt. That means the plant's still on. So I need to go across, and we need to get the, we need to hit the bottom as well. Now that we've moved forward some. I kind of wish you could turn the bagger head off and then traverse faster, but it is what it is. About 45-degree angle. Just curious where we were. Really just kind of following this coal profile here, so you don't need to cut into all that dirt. So angle it in so we have room for our little trough thingy. And start coming across like this. Coal behind that? Yeah, there is coal behind that. Cool. Go across here. We're going to grab that coal, and then we're kind of getting stuck here, but we need to go back over to get into the coal anyway, so we can work around that. Look at this area, and then I'll have to traverse over and kind of clean up the front right arc as well. That's pretty much just dirt. Okay, that's all the way down, so we'll start traversing and see if we're too deep. So this is as far back as I can go. Material keeps flowing. This thing's doing pretty well on fuel for the amount of material we're moving. Yeah, we're past center, so we're not going to get any deeper in. That worked out about right, distance-wise. Alright, I think that's about it for the bottom. Let's get moved up top here. We can take About a third of a cut, I think. So let me trim this off. Now I can't remember if I've moved since I took this top cut. Yeah, I don't think I have. I think this is the top cut. They go across and then down. Yeah, I think that's what I did. It goes up top already. So I'll swing this over. Turn off the head. Push the wrong button. Then we start all over again. Did I move forward enough? I'm not sure that I did. I guess for going this direction I kind of did because we got the hopper in the way. The stuff falling doesn't ever change color. Go on. Yeah, I didn't quite pull forward enough. It'll work out. Is this thing even using fuel? So it's halfway between the second notch to the right of center. I'm not sure this is even using fuel. Maybe it's plugged out. Or just uses it very, very slowly. Just trying to eyeball the center there at the bottom of the curve from the last pass. Alright, is the paint dry yet? We're 40 minutes in. Kind of mesmerizing watching this thing just gather up the coal. Alright, I'm going to move up a little bit, so I need to turn that off. Then I can take off the parking brake. We're all the way down, we're sweeping across. I might have moved forward a little too far. We'll see how this goes. Look how nice and smooth the floor is. I think I might have yawned into the microphone. Sorry about that. It's been a long day. Yeah, we're just passing center. It was almost a little too far forward, but it worked out. Made it work. Manually mine that ridge there. Thing is trying to keep up. View that works here. So with the auto export on, I wonder if when I stop the recording, does it automatically spit that out? I'll find out here in a second. Yeah, once we get into that coal, we can just sweep back and forth. It's gonna be a lot of coal. See if we can pull this off. It's no clipping a little bit on the little shelf thingy. Yeah, there's stick. That's a little too high. See if we can just skate under here. It's a crooked pass, but we can straighten it up when we come back across with the broadside. All right. It's about enough bagging for a while. Did we empty out? We did. It did finally use some fuel. It's just using it really slowly. So maybe it has a ginormous fuel tank. Does it say how much fuel? No, it's just a meter. All right, cool. I think in the store it says, so if we go to here, fuel capacity 4,200 liters. Wow. The next one up holds 6,300 liters. Okay. That's why it's kind of sipping through the fuel. Relatively. It has a ginormous fuel tank. That's got a ways to go. So it's about half pay dirt, half coal, as expected. Cool. I could cheat and just pull the coal out like that. It's definitely something you can do. I'm going to hit R to turn off the recording. Then if I go back to the drone, it says auto export. I don't know what triggers the auto export. It didn't export here. It doesn't look like anyway. So if I hit export, it should write out all those frames to disk. And then I can use like FFmpeg or something like that to turn it into a video. Come on, game. Hey, it did it. Yay. Wonder if auto export just exports when this gets full, maybe. Does it pause the game and export? I'm not sure. Pump out of the drone. There we go. You're still percolating. So we should have a bunch more stuff over here, since we were running all that pay dirt. Indeed we do. Cool. Well, I'll probably do some more bagging in between episodes. I'll see how much time I have. I would like to get this kind of more into the seam where we're taking, you know, material each time we take a pass through there. We'll see how it goes. The other thought I had is, like I said, backing up and then blasting at least the coal down to where it can reach it. Because we can only reach up to about there with the bagger. You know, unless I would raise it on a platform or something. That's the other possibility, because I could turn this into ramps. You know, and go up a little ways and then maybe get it. I don't know. We'll see. I'll play around with it. Thanks as always for watching, though. And I'll catch you in the next episode. Take care.